This is Akko.
And this is Tamo for the Akko and Tamo podcast, a podcast dedicated to parenting where we explore new perspectives
And share ideas on how to love yourself, love your partner, and shower your children with love.
This is episode 53.
And the topic of the day is the Bedtime Countdown, a podcast for creating a consistent bedtime routine for toddlers. And before we get started, please take a quick moment to subscribe to our show. Now let's get back to our recent happening. So recently we've been gardening and we are growing chard, kale, spinach, the loofah gourd. What else are we? Chives, a lot of stuff that we tend to just use a little more often, or if there's anything that we want to just throw in last minute into our meals.
When you make stir fried, right?
Yes. Yeah. So it works out. I just go out to the garden, have the kids get it for me, and then we cook it and we eat it.
Yeah, it's really awesome because for the kids, seeing how things grow, they get to be part of harvesting these veggies. It makes it so that they eat a little bit more than usual too. So it's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's go into the topic of the day today, which is the bedtime countdown. Creating a consistent bedtime routine for toddlers. I know this is a real difficult one for many parents, including ourselves, but we have found a hack for this, and it's been working out for quite a while now, and it's been working out.
Yeah, so it's been really great. And so as conscious parents, we understand the importance of creating a consistent and peaceful bedtime routine for our children. And a bedtime routine can help signal to our children's body that it is time to wind down and prepare for sleep, making it easier for them to fall asleep. So that's our ultimate goal, and also for our sanity so that we can have our parental alone time. And so one of the key tools that we can use to establish and maintain this peaceful bedtime routine is a timer. I know it's super simple, but this timer has been a godsend. It's been working so well. And I'm not talking about stopwatch type of timer. It's a timer that's color-coded, so it's made for toddlers, actually. So they can see the time ticking as the colors disappear.
So they're not necessarily looking at a number counting down, but instead it's color-coded like Akko mentioned, so it's much easier for them to understand.
Yeah, so it's rainbow colored, and then it just keeps going down. And red is 1 minute marker. So timers can help us stay on track and make sure that our children don't get sidetracked by other activities. So in the past, especially our daughter, she would get sidetracked. She's supposed to put on her pajamas, then she brushes her teeth, then she flosses, then she brushes her hair, but she always would get sidetracked and does other things. So this timer really keeps her on track. Pretty much the timer starts as soon as the kids get out of the bath, and we have her actually turn it on, and she's pretty happy about turning it on and just twisting the dial.
Yep, and then the timer starts counting down, and what happens is, of course, she will get sidetracked, but we can always bring her back by saying, hey, look at the timer.
Yeah, and this is an interesting concept. So this concept that we're trying to use is we're on her team. Hey, I'm trying to help you so that you can finish everything before the timer rings, because at the very end, there's a little bit of a screen time. And so for whatever minutes that is left, we have her watch screen time. But in all honesty, it's usually 5 minutes that she can watch.
And what we use is a projector, and we kind of turn down the blue light on it. And then since it's a projector, it can be projected on any part of the wall of the bedroom. And so we really try to make it so it's less stimulating than it would be with like a phone.
Yeah, for sure. And let me just get back to the timer. The only reason why we use a color-coded timer is because children at that age don't have the concept of time down. Children really doesn't know how to tell time until much later. I think it averages around 6 to 8 years old from what I've read. So yeah, going back to the bedtime routine. And so we encourage her to actually put everything on herself. So the deal is that she tries to do everything. So she's got the whole dressing herself down and brushing her teeth, but we actually make sure we do the very last touches.
We help her with the finishing touches, especially when it comes to brushing the teeth and flossing and brushing her hair. We do the final touches.
Yeah, and she's the one that initiates, and we're just trying to teach her that she can do it on her own so that she can start becoming more confident in doing it herself. And simultaneously, one of us will do it for our son. He's too young to do it himself. We encourage him, but if he doesn't, then we'll go ahead and do it for him.
And just for your info, our daughter is 3.5. And our son is not yet 2, almost 2. So just so you get an idea of the age group that we're talking about. And so our son right now doesn't really understand the concept of the timer, but his sister does. So we try to make it as fun as possible.
And after everything is done, And after they've watched their dimly lit projector screen for usually an average of 5 minutes, lastly, what we do is we read a book of their choice. Or actually, maybe books, actually, because they bring a pile for us to read afterwards. And then that kind of settles everything down again, and they are ready for bed.
And so once the books are read, then we turn off the lights. We're all in bed together, and then we give each other hugs, love yous, and good nights, and then things usually settle down. Of course, there are times that they still have a lot of energy, but our goal as parents are to expend all that energy before bed. So that's the routine.
Yep, exactly. And this has made, I kid you not, a huge difference in our bedtime routine, from repetitively telling our daughter, like, brush your teeth, okay, and just saying that in different ways, because obviously saying it multiple times in the same way doesn't work. So we say it in different ways, and that wasn't working. Like, our bedtime routine was dragging. And so this timer has really made it consistent as far as how long that bedtime routine lasts.
Yeah, exactly. It gives us clear 20 minutes to work with, and it's fantastic. Another thing that I wanted to point out is with the projector, in the beginning, when the timer would go off and the projector had to be turned off, our kids really didn't like that, of course, and they would cry and things like that. But now it's to the point they don't like to turn it off, but when the timer goes off, boom, they know what to do, and they're fighting to turn off the projector. Really interesting.
We're like, who wants to turn off the projector? And obviously they're like, me. And so it's really helped a lot. So
right. And we highly recommend using a timer and trying this method out. It does take a little while, maybe a couple weeks before the kids really start to understand.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those that don't believe in screen time, you can always just say, hey, you know what? We can read a book afterward.
And if you think this episode is helpful for other parents, please share it. And if you haven't, please take a quick moment to subscribe to our show.
And the question of the day is, do you have a bedtime routine for your children?
We'd love to hear from you. Please come say hi by commenting on our website by going to akkoandtamo.com, which is akkoandtamo.com, and clicking on the podcast tab. Now, if you have Instagram, we are on Instagram at akkoandtamo, which is akkoandtamo. Say hi to us there, and we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.